With that, I have the pleasure of turning the Zoom room over to the founder of Success Partners International, the creator of these Zoom trainings, our mentor, leader, Millionaire Club member, Mr. John Drennan.
Thanks so much, Steve. And the recording has been started, so we are being recorded. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday evening training Zoom, and I commend you for showing up. It's interesting. Normally on Wednesday, I send an LS Engage message encouraging people to jump on. I did not do that today, and that might reflect in the numbers, so we'll see how many more join us. But with that, I'm going to share my screen and dig right in here. Yeah, let's see. Okay. So I'm very excited to back the buggy up and just go through some basics here. So many things are happening with Legal Shield, with the culture, with the business, with everything that's happening. And obviously so much has been fueled by the COVID-19. So COVID-19 and Legal Shield, what have we learned? And so first of all, we've learned the need for our services and businesses escalated on all fronts. We're seeing that in, well, look at the next line, membership sales, new associates, and retention are all up. So what's happened with the virus has impacted so many things as it relates to what we do. Obviously, the need for the services has escalated. And home-based income is now a norm that people are pursuing at levels we've never seen. We are seeing membership sales, new associates are recruiting, fast start qualifications, all of that is up. What's really exciting is how retention is up. And on a field leadership call last week, they went through all the numbers in detail, and it's pretty amazing actually right now. And I know I've seen it in my business, just a lot less cancellations across the board. Next, some associates are advancing in record time. Timur Halligan did a great job commenting on that on tonight's 8 o'clock live Zoom, just talking about how associates are going faster now than we've ever seen. Well, why is that? Well, time has collapsed. What do I mean? People are doing Zooms all day. We've got people getting to 6 figures of income in their first year because they're literally doing Zooms all day. They're not waiting on a weekly briefing, or I remember at one point in Louisville, we had 3 luncheons and a briefing. That's 4 events a week. We got people now doing 4 events in an afternoon with Zoom. Next, record bonus dollars are being paid out for 2 reasons. 1, there's record money available, and 2, there's people setting records. So that combination has fueled millions and millions of dollars being paid out in bonuses. And finally, the point I really want to make here, we're not going back to pre-virus behaviors. We're not going back to weekly briefings. Now, there will be markets that do evening events, there will be luncheons, there will be live events, but not what most of you are accustomed to in kind of how you learn the business. So just understand that. This is not a Band-Aid to get through the virus where we're relying on Zoom. This is our business. And the folks who are rocking are doing it because they're using Zoom and social media. And we all know the benefits of it. We're spending less money and making more money in the environment that we're in. So that's the first slide I want to go through. Secondly, how has Success Partners International responded to all this? Well, in April, we introduced Pivot 2020, recognizing with the shutdown, the lockdown in March, recognizing people needed to start to change how they're thinking about things. And we already saw back in March, some teams in Legal Shield were just accelerating. And we figured out why that was. They were really relying on the 4 things that are listed there. Number 1, using social media. And many of you have really developed yourselves in this capacity, but using social media to connect and to add names. That's number 1 of Pivot 2020. Number 2 is use PBLS with your prospects. So use Prospect by Legal Shield. Now, we've had that for a long time, but it's been perfected, and now it's more important than ever. Number 3, make Zoom your room and invite people to the Zooms. And we added 10 Zooms, live Zooms a week. And they're great Zooms. I mean, watching Timur Halligan tonight, it was just phenomenal. He was done in 20 minutes. I had an associate who was on there, and that associate, or a new prospect rather, that new prospect's now an associate and did the builder's package. You know, he was on both Zooms today and loved it. Next is utilize the team members with 3-way calls and Zoom. So those are the 4 things. So my question to you, is this your focus? Are these 4 things primary in your focus? Next, what Success Partners has done to respond is in April, we updated our team calendar and events. Number 1, we added new tracking forms. And those are on the calendar right now. If you go to Legal Shield, go to successpartnerscalendar.com, and on the Saturday, you can click on the forms and documents and get all the new tracking forms. Secondly, we added a YouTube channel to put our recordings. So again, you can click on the calendar and get to our YouTube channel. Thirdly, we now have that as a location for gathering stories for our Sunday night team Zoom. And kudos to those of you who have participated with that. We've had great stories and more stories the past several Sundays since we initiated this. So, and by the way, you all have stories. Every one of you could share a membership story, a business story, a story from your team, a story from a member, an event story, a member perk story. So how do you do that? Go to the calendar, click on where it says Sunday Team Stories. Okay, how else have we responded? Well, in August, we did a valuable and successful summer blast. Most of you participated, so you know the value of it. Then there was residual value. For example, Lisa Manini on Friday did her free training. I think there are about 25 people from Success Partners who participated in that live. That was amazing. I know Robert Bagley got some personal coaching from Lisa, and that was just amazing. I know I got great notes from that, and I've attended a lot of Lisa's work in the past. So no doubt we had a successful summer blast. But the important thing, first time ever, where people didn't have to drive and pay the bigger dollars to spend the night and the food and the flights and all that. So you all know, it costs you almost nothing to attend. And so that set the stage for some things we'll be doing in the future. Next, we changed our team call Sunday night and Wednesday night to Zooms. Obviously, right now we're on a Zoom. We open with music. Thank you, Steve Beck. You were on here 20 minutes prior. You had the Steely Dan going. People came on, and I'm very, very busy. But I got to tell you, I've enjoyed coming on a little bit early with the music to kind of get in the mood of what's about to happen. So I appreciate you, Steve, for that, and then for doing the hosting tonight and kicking this training off. And then same thing on Sunday with the music. But the other thing now, we're finishing with videos. So tonight we're going to have a training video, and that's been going great. And then on Sunday nights, we have more of an inspirational video after the call. And then finally, one of the spin-offs from the Summer Blast was Lynn Schuster-Williams, and her releasing her training on becoming a virtual networking superstar that many of you are attending. And I know we had a class last night. It was the second one, and it's just fabulous. Third one. Okay. Text me, Lynn. Second or third. Weeks are flying by, but just great training and what people need in terms of the virtual networking. So these are all things that we've done to respond. So I just hope that each one of you take seriously the Pivot 2020 and are using the tracking forms in a way to serve you, and participated in the Summer Blast. And we sent you the links so you can go back and re-listen to things you can do for your health, things you can do financially. Some of you were on the Summer Blast, but you didn't attend at all. So, if you missed any one of those segments, every segment was valuable. So you can go back and watch those. And again, I hope you're registered and taking Lynn's training. And then I once again encourage you to take the challenges I put forth on the last session of the Summer Blast. Number one is embrace what's going on with the new normals, which is what these slides have been about. Embrace that. And then secondly, bring new people to our culture. What do I mean by that? Our culture is very powerful. It's very meaningful for people. So with that, tonight we're going to introduce something new. And what we're going to introduce is Success Partners Weekly Call Blitz. And to introduce this, I want to go out to two people who helped in the formulation of this after some conversations that we've had over time. And I've had conversations with different people at different times about doing this. Timmer and I have been talking about it, but I want to go out to Miss Susan Comer and Ms. Jane Lehman and have the two of them share with you Success Partners Weekly Call Blitz.
Here we are. Thank you, John. Thank you for the introduction. And I'm here with Jane Lehman, and the two of us we're workout partners. And we had a conversation about having a call blitz. And I'm here to ask Jane to explain what is a call blitz and how will we all benefit from it.
Thank you, Susan. And I was so glad that John asked us to do this, because you and I, along with Lee Perry, we've often done a block of a call blitz where we take a 2-hour period where we just focus on calling. Why would we do that? It's all about teamwork. And I'm glad you asked that question. Think of yourself as one of these little arrows pointing for, we are moving forward as a team. And when you're on a blitz, we're all here on a Zoom room, just like we are right now. If you're in gallery view and you can see each other, it's all about brainstorming. It's about getting help. It's about motivation. You're watching other people on the phone. When I put my phone down and I'll make some notes and I look up and I see Lee and Susan, we're still calling. It's like, oh, I got to get back on the phone. It is so motivating. So I think it's important that we try this out, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, that sounds exciting, and I hope everybody thinks so too. Well, let's ask you this. Is there anything we need to do to prepare for this?
I would say yes. And in looking at these things, Susan, what an appropriate quote. Alexander Graham Bell himself. We're going to have his telephones in our hands, right? Before anything else, preparation is key. So yes, we're going to get ready for this. You're not going to touch your phone. If you don't have a list, you might as well not even come on. That's the way your day should start. We all know this. If you've been in this business for more than 2 hours, you have a list, right? So get your list ready. Be in a place where you're uninterrupted. You might want to take a screenshot of this right now, or a picture with your phone, depending on your technology. You're going to know, why am I making these calls? Am I calling this specific person for recruiting reasons, or because they need the membership? Or you've got to know that yourself. Know why you're going to be making these calls, and make those lists appropriately so that you get in the mindset. Tonight, I am inviting to recruiting Zooms. I'm inviting these people to look at this business opportunity, right? Whatever. You get the point. Make your list accordingly. And then your primary goal is set appointments. We're not going on any phone call to tell about our services. We're not going to give all those features. We write wills. We do traffic tickets. None of that. At the most, you'll give a benefit or two of we want to I wouldn't even do that. Let's go back with the old, not Nick Serba, but Dave Savula. 15 minutes. I just need 15 minutes of your time. And we have Zooms for that too, that the 15-minute Zoom at lunchtime. And we don't take people's time up, right? Or you want to get together with them in a restaurant, have coffee. Obviously, that's going to last a little longer than 15 minutes, I hope, because you'll be getting a conversation going there. It'll be wonderful. So on these calls, though, you're going to have a script ready and make sure that it's natural. It comes out natural. Don't ever sound like you're reading a script. And especially if you go to meet people on a Zoom, don't be reading notes. If you're at a stage of your business where you're going to have to be looking at notes to talk to someone, get someone on your team to help you. Don't ever look like you don't know what you're doing, right? We want to have fun with it. And if it's not going to be fun, if you're feeling like I've got to look over here at my notes to answer the questions or whatever, get a team member, any of us, to help you do that. And that way it can just be a nice experience and you've passed it off to a third party, right? Have notes, take notes, pen and paper, have it like we always would do. Be ready to jot down what you're talking about. And part of this blitz is the time after it, when you're going to take 15, 20 minutes to put everything into place for tracking, put them into Prospect by Legal Shield and all of those kind of things. Remembering that it takes 5 to 12 times before the average person is going to engage or buy.
Well, wow, I hope everybody really caught a lot of those little nuggets that Jane mentioned. And one of the things you might be thinking is, well, what if I like to text, or what if I like to message people? You could do that as well. In fact, I did all three the last time we got together. I called, I did texts. It's kind of nice to mix it up, but have what you want to say ready. And if you need help with any of that, we're here to help you, because it's really mostly to see, are they open, as Jane was saying, are they open for conversation? Are they open to schedule a time? All you want to do is engage so that you can get to a conversation later. And as Jane wrote, as you could see here, to Zoom, to have a one-on-one, to schedule any of these types of conversations. That's what your goal is. And what do we do? So after we were all done with this, what are the steps are we going to take after?
Actually, Susan, this part right here, this is the beginning. This is not the activity alone. This activity begins with the calling. Immediately after the calls, you're going to have everyone should have Prospect by Legal Shield. Some people will have their calendars or their CRM open or another method of tracking, but everyone should have Prospect by Legal Shield. You're going to put everyone into Prospect by Legal Shield, and the ones that you've set appointments with, right? And you'll want to make notes on where you're going to meet them on a Zoom live. Are you sending them a tool? What are you going to send them, right? That can be done all right through Prospect by Legal Shield. And make sure you keep notes on and dates on when to follow up. Once you've done that, you've got a meeting now with the person, but at that meeting, plan the next meeting, okay? And if they happen to say, not now, well, okay, I'll get to that one in a minute. You've got the people that didn't answer their phones. They go on another list, and you're going to make another call time and call those people you didn't get a hold of. And then for the future, the ones that said no or not yet, take plenty of notes, but put them in your calendar or your CRM. Again, Prospect by Legal Shield, and make notes, because I've had times where months go by and suddenly it's March and I see call Susan Comer. Who's Susan Comer? I don't remember, right? Because I didn't take the notes. You've got to take a note. So, I spoke to her back at this time last year and what we talked about. Tracking forms, as you know, Success Partners calendar. If you look at the Saturdays, that's where our documents are. Tracking forms are there, or also on begintheascent.com. Those are our two websites. The calendar is the quickest one to get those forms. And I just put over here some popular CRMs that people use. All of them have like a free version or a trial if you'd like to look at them. Everyone's got to find their own method. There is no perfect method. If there was, there'd only be one, right? So find what works for you. And, you know, Susan, thank you for taking the time to ask me the questions. I just wanted to say, y'all, the biggest thing about this is we want to have fun. And I love this next picture. I'm sorry, but I picture goats in a tree. We're going to be on a Zoom. Just have fun. They get together. They have a great time. So, Susan, back to you.
Well, thanks for sharing that and ending it with fun as always. And Mr. Drennan, I think we're going to go back to you and see when this will all start. We're so excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I love the goats in the tree, by the way, Jane. But great job, Jane and Susan. And just a couple of comments. You know, one of the ideas here is to be able to do things as part of community. This is not a new idea. I know in my 22 years in this business, at different times, I've been part of calling groups, calling parties, calling competitions. And that was, you know, phone calls, even when the phone used to be hooked to the wall, and then mobile phones. But the idea here is we'll all be on Zoom where we can see each other making the call, talking to the person. Of course, we'll be muted, but the videos will be on so we can see each other, sending text messages, and being part of a community, knowing that, hey, others are doing it. They're going through what I'm going through. So that's a big part of it. Also, you know, I love, Susan, you brought up the idea, well, what about text? And because at the end of the day, you want to communicate with people the way they most appreciate communication. Some people love email. Some people, it's all text. Don't even try and call them. Others, they prefer a call. So try and know that. But a good call to anyone could be this call. It could be, hey, Susan, hey, this is John Drennan. You know, do you have a minute? And then I'm calling because I've got some really exciting information in regard to a program that I work with. I'm wondering if I could send you a text with a short video. See, and because I wouldn't want to just, you know, assume and just send something without your permission. Most people are going to say, sure, go ahead, or what is it? And then you can text. So that's a two-part. It's a call basically to say, hey, I'm going to text you something. Or you could leave a voicemail. Hey, I'm sorry I missed you. I was calling to see if it'd be okay if I sent you a text in regard to a program that I'm excited about and I'm working with. And tell you what, I'll just go ahead and text it. If you don't want to watch it, that's fine. In other words, you can, you know, combine the two that way. So you'll be hearing more about this, but as Susan said, you know, when are we starting? Well, we're going to start this next Wednesday night, and we're going to start it at 8:30. Now, I understand that at 8 o'clock, we have our Wednesday briefing, our Zoom briefing, and we'll start this at 8:30. And we'll run it right up until the music starts for this training, which is at 9:10. So that'll be 40 minutes of total time. Maybe you don't get on right at the beginning, but you join in for 20 minutes of it. But the idea is come on at the beginning and create that momentum to have 30 to 40 minutes of activity. For some of you, here's what you'll find. You'll get more done in 40 minutes than you've been getting done in a week. Why? Focus, time, and attention in community. So you'll be hearing more about that. So with that, hope you got value tonight, and stay on for the training video that we're going to. So with that, Steve Beck, let me go back to you, sir.
Welcome to Network Marketing Pro. My name is Eric Worre, and today I want to share with you